Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, it's impossible not to feel that buzz, that anticipation, especially as we approach the 2024 NFL season. The Eagles, after a historic run that culminated in a Super Bowl appearance, are not resting on their laurels. No, they're pushing forward, trying to fine-tune a roster that's already full of talent. But like every team in the league, they have their areas where they want to improve, and one of those is undeniably the wide receiver position. That's right, the Eagles are still hunting for that elusive third receiver, someone who can step up, be dependable, and take the pressure off A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, their dynamic Pro Bowl duo that has been the backbone of their aerial attack. Now, if you've been following the Eagles closely, you know that their draft class in 2025 was quite promising. They made some solid picks, addressing a lot of needs on both sides of the ball, adding depth and talent that could pay dividends for years to come. But even with that strong draft, the team's front office, led by the shrewd Howie Roseman, still sees gaps, especially at wide receiver. Jahan Dotson, who was supposed to be that reliable slot or third option after being acquired from Washington last offseason, unfortunately, had a disappointing year, managing just 216 yards. That's a number that, frankly, doesn't cut it when you're trying to build a championship-caliber offense. As a result, the Eagles declined his fifth-year option, signaling that they're looking elsewhere to find that consistent, game-changing presence out wide. So, what's the plan? Well, the Eagles didn't sit still. They went out and added Terrace Marshall Jr., a promising young receiver with upside, in free agency. They also drafted Johnny Wilson and Aeneas Smith, hoping one of these young talents would emerge as the trio's third piece. But if you've been watching training camp, if you've been analyzing the offseason practices, you know that none of these players have fully seized that role yet. It's still a bit of a question mark heading into training camp, and that's where the whispers about potential veteran additions start to heat up. One name that's been floated around as an ideal fit, Amari Cooper. Yes, the veteran wide receiver who's been a consistent threat for years in the NFL. Kevin Patra from NFL.com recently brought up Philadelphia as a top landing spot for Cooper, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. The Eagles, in their current state, are in what you might call a win-now mode. They're aiming for another Super Bowl appearance, and adding a player like Cooper could be the piece that pushes their offense over the top. Patra pointed out that Howie Roseman deserves what he calls the Dynasty Patriots treatment, where every available free agent or trade target seems linked to the Eagles, and that's no coincidence. The team's current roster, with its mix of young talent and veteran savvy, is built to compete, and a proven commodity like Cooper could be the perfect addition. Now, let's talk about Cooper himself. The five-time Pro Bowler, who just turned 30, had a down year statistically last season, catching only 44 passes for 547 yards and 4 touchdowns split between Cleveland and Buffalo. But don't let those numbers fool you. Cooper's value isn't just in his stats. It's in his route running, his football IQ, and his ability to make clutch catches in critical moments. Fans of the Eagles remember him quite well from his days with the Dallas Cowboys, where he was a nightmare for Philadelphia's secondary. In 6 games against the Eagles, Cooper averaged over 81 yards per game and scored 3 touchdowns, including that memorable game in 2018 when he caught a walk-off deflection in overtime, sealing a Cowboys victory. Those memories still resonate with Eagles fans, and bringing him into the fold now, in a secondary role, could be exactly what the team needs to bolster its passing attack. You see, Cooper isn't the same player he was in his prime, but he remains a reliable weapon, especially in third-down situations or in red zone scenarios. His experience and ability to find soft spots in coverage would fit beautifully in Nick Sirianni's offensive scheme, especially with 3 receiver sets. Philadelphia's offense, under Sirianni, has been innovative and aggressive, and adding a veteran like Cooper could add that extra layer of reliability that the team might need against tough defenses. And speaking of the front office, Howie Roseman has a track record of making smart, sometimes bold, moves after the draft. Remember James Bradbury in 2022? Signed after the draft, he became an all-pro cornerback and an integral part of that Super Bowl run. A one-year deal with Cooper, with its low risk but high upside, could be another savvy move that pays dividends. It's about building a roster that's not just good enough to make the playoffs, but capable of winning it all. With Cooper's familiarity with high-stakes NFL games and his knack for making big plays, he could be the veteran presence that galvanizes the offense, especially in those critical moments late in games. Now, when you look at the bigger picture, the Eagles are clearly in a position where they want to maximize their Super Bowl window. They have a talented quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who's entering his prime, and a coaching staff that's proven to be innovative and adaptable. The defense, led by stars like Darius Slay and Fletcher Cox, remains formidable. But to truly contend, they need to ensure their offensive weapons are as reliable and versatile as possible. The addition of Cooper, or someone like him, could be that final piece in the puzzle. It's about finding that balance: youth and experience, speed and precision, talent and veteran leadership. Of course, there are other considerations: the salary cap, the chemistry in the locker room, and how quickly Cooper or any veteran can adapt to the Eagles' system. But if history is any guide, Howie Roseman isn't afraid to take calculated risks, especially when it comes to acquiring players who can make immediate impacts. The Eagles' front office has shown a knack for identifying undervalued veterans who can step into key roles and elevate the team's performance. The fact that Cooper is available and that he's familiar with the NFC East only adds intrigue to this potential move. Imagine Cooper lining up alongside Brown and Smith, creating mismatches and forcing defenses to double-team or bracket coverage. Imagine the possibilities when Jalen Hurts has that veteran security blanket, someone who can read defenses and find soft spots in coverage. It's not just about adding another receiver, it's about elevating the entire offense, giving Sirianni more options, and making the Eagles even more unpredictable. The NFC East is tough, no doubt about it. Teams like the Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders have all made moves to improve, but Philadelphia's strategy of blending youth with proven veterans might just be what sets them apart in this highly competitive division. As we look ahead to training camp and the preseason, the anticipation builds. Fans are eager to see which players will step up, which rookies will emerge, and whether the Eagles will make a splashy move to solidify their offense. The idea of adding a player like Cooper isn't just speculation. It's rooted in the team's desire to maximize their Super Bowl chances and the franchise's history of smart, strategic moves. With a roster that's already talented and a coaching staff that's proven to adapt and innovate, the Eagles are positioning themselves as serious contenders once again. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think adding a veteran like Cooper would make the difference? Or do you believe the young receivers can step up and seize that third spot? Whatever you think, let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. This season promises to be exciting, and the Eagles are right at the center of it, ready to chase another Super Bowl. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep cheering for Philadelphia.